Okay, this is the hopefully the latest ICAO Annex 8 12th edition 2018. And do you see the screen?
Yeah, I can.
Yes.
Yes, Prof.
Then from here, you can let's go look at the content page. Okay, you can see chapter 1 is this is a three part 1, part 2, and part 3, 4. Part 4, this is part 4. So part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6. So there's many parts. Okay. Part 1 and part 2 is most on the administrative. Type certificate. So anything to do with the type certificate will be in chapter 1. Part 2, chapter 1. Because part 2 is procedure for certification and continuing airworthiness. And then chapter 2 or the part 2 is production. And then chapter 3 is certificate of airworthiness. And chapter 4 is continuing airworthiness. Chapter 5 is safety management. Chapter 6 is maintenance organization approval. And okay, and then they go to part 3. Okay. So part 2 is where you are now required to have DOA, okay? Because there is type certificate, there is production certificate, there is certificate of airworthiness, is continuing airworthiness. So all the aircraft airworthiness is in the part 2. And airworthiness, there are two aspects of airworthiness, which is initial airworthiness and continuing airworthiness. So part 2 is cover both initial airworthiness certification and also continuing airworthiness. So this is something I think you are quite clear. So your existence, how you exist, why you exist, why you need to be CVE is in the part airworthiness. So your role is ensuring the aircraft is airworthy. If you're doing new design, it's initial airworthiness, and if you're doing maintenance, it's continuing airworthiness. So whatever we do will be based on this Annex 8. Okay, now, you look at, you can check part 3 and above. Those are design requirements. Part 3, large aeroplane. Part 3A, aeroplane over 5,700 kilo, for which application for certification was submitted on or after 13 June 1960. Okay, but before March 2004. So do you have this aircraft? Malindo, what aircraft you been operating?
This is ATR 72 and 737 NG.
737 NG. So where are they? Are they here, part 3A?
Oh, yes.
So it was before March 2004 for both aircraft. Okay, never mind. Later we find out. Okay, so just take the date. After 13th June 1960, obviously yes. Before March 2004. Now, if you look at here, chapter 1, okay, now 3B. This is 3B, aeroplane over 57. Application for certification was submitted on or 2nd March 2004 after.
Yes.
Then you can 3B, after 3B, and then you have 4, helicopter. So it's nothing to do with you, but in future, if you're working for Airbus helicopter, yes, you will, this is the area that you need to also study. And then part A is a date is similar with aeroplane. Part 4, part 4A, and then we have part 4B, okay, still helicopter. Okay, part 5. Part 5 is small aeroplane. It's a 5A, also 5B. Small aeroplane over 750 kilo, but not exceeding 5,700 kilo. That one is part 5A. Then we move on into part 6. Part 6 is engine. Okay. So you want to look for engine design requirement at higher level. This is the highest level. Part 6. Highest level does not mean they are everything here. This highest level is the fundamental basic. And then part 7, propellers. And that's it. So we go up to part 7. So everything's are in here. So what I'm trying to show you, to you, the design requirement that we see CS, AFR, Part 25, Part 23, 27, CST, all the design requirement that you see where the aircraft is designed to was from this ICAO airworthiness, ICAO Annex 8 aircraft airworthiness. This is the basis. Okay, if you look at the aircraft again, you just bear with me because I can show you this how this will, because the whole thing that you see now will be in the Malaysian regulation from April 2021. So means that that's what I'm trying to say here. Now you have say aircraft ATR designed to CS25. So can we use the interpretation in here for you to show design compliance? So that's the question. Think about it later. I ask again. Okay. Can we use this? Because this is already after April 2021 will be Malaysian law. They call it CAT 8. Civil Aviation Directive 8, which is similar to ICAO Annex 8. What you see now here. Okay. In there is part 3. A and 3B, which is talking about large aeroplane. Okay, the question is, can we use the technical requirement in here to show compliance to your modification, for example? Keep the question first, don't answer.
Okay.
Because someone somewhere will try to use this. But is it possible or not? Anyway, when you look at here, you have chapters. Chapter 1, general. Chapter 2, flight. Chapter 3, structure. Chapter 4, design and construction. So for both of you, Hafiza on structure, focus on 3. And 4, tertiary interior basically is not a discipline by itself. Interior is a structure. Okay. Discipline under the discipline of structure. Even though most airline will have this discipline of cabin interior, however, the content, okay, the technical requirement for the interior is in the chapter 3 and chapter 4. And then we have chapter 5, engine. Okay. There's some a bit of confusing here because part 4 is engine. No, part 4. Part what? Part 5, sorry. I just forgot. Never mind. So here, basically, power plant. Engine and its system to power the aircraft. 6, propeller. Okay, sorry. Sorry. Power plant is chapter 7. Okay. Engine, propeller, they put it here because in the past, and some aircraft design having, they have designed and certified the engine together with the aircraft. The practice now, the modern practice is you just install certified engine. However, in the previous practices, in some countries still practices this, they design and certify the engine and propeller together with the aircraft. Means that all the work, all the activity in the part, part 5, sorry, what part again? Engine is scaled out inside this part 3. However, if you look at the CS and FAR later on, they don't have engine, they don't have propeller. They only have power plant installation. Because in the CS and the FAR, especially 25, it is clearly stated that install certified engine. So when you say install certified engine, you don't have to certify the engine together with the aircraft. I mean, you can. You have to get engine which is already certified. If you want to design and certify the engine, you must have design a different design organization or similar design organization but different scope. Yeah. So, and then there's 11, security, continuing readiness. So all in here, if you want to map again to the CS and FAR, it's slightly different. However, this is the basis. 9 is operating limitation. This is subpart G. Let's just go back. So here is general, is subpart A. Later when you go to the subpart, you just think back. Flight subpart B. Structure subpart C. Design and construction subpart D. Engine, power propeller, power plant installation is subpart F. So chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7, they put them together under subpart E. Okay, because of engine required to be, only certified engine required to be installed, it is only cover chapter 7, which is subpart E. Subpart E is cover only chapter 7. Because chapter 5, chapter 6 is independent certifications. For the CS, FAR, and most of the design awareness requirement issued by the state. So this ICAO, higher level again. Okay. So chapter 7, power plant, chapter 8, instrument and equipment. This is subpart F. And operating limitation information is subpart G. So 9 and 10 is together, which is subpart G. Subpart H, chapter 11, security, is already included in the subpart C, because designing the bullet, the bomb-proof compartment. Interior design, protection of flight crew, least risk bomb, aeroplane used for domestic and commercial, you need to have this. And all this already part of the structure design, which is in the subpart C and subpart D. This is the basis. Clear this for now. So when you see any design requirement published by the state, APR, or CS, or Canadian, or Australian, they can't be off. They cannot be far off from this design requirement. This called it technical requirement. The technical requirement which is published in Annex 8. So no one can be having huge differences. They can have differences, but they have to file the differences. The state who are designing their own airworthiness requirement shall inform ICAO that they are not following the ICAO.